In the vast expanse of the desert, where the sun beats down mercilessly and the heat shimmers off the sand, an international heist ring was on the run. Police officers, armed with technology and determination, hunted down their quarry, one member of the elusive gang, hiding under the sparse shade of a desert tree. Who was the criminal in question? Just a 17-year-old boy from Chile. Now, of course, we're not mentioning he's from Chile to stoke any kind of political fires. But the reason that piece of information is relevant is because this was no ordinary criminal. He was part of a growing trend of burglary tourism from South America. Los Angeles, the city of dreams, has now become the playground for these daring thieves. Wealthy enclaves like Pacific Palisades and Orange County were their hunting grounds. Their mode of operation was slick. A Hyundai Tucson, innocuous yet efficient, whisked them from one heist to the next. They targeted the affluent, homes nestled among open spaces and canyons, where security was lax and the loot was practically ready to be taken. The LAPD reported that there has been more than 900 residential burglaries in the LA area since January alone. And in Irvine County, the Irvine Police Department reported that there had been 34 home burglaries in just 35 days, which bear similarities to the handiwork of the South American crime rings. Police reported that the criminals used sophisticated pieces of technology, such as Wi-Fi jammers, camouflage suits, and even drones to stake out their target homes and disable security cameras. Once the security systems were enabled and the coast was clear, they made their way into the unsuspecting victim's home and made off with various items, from cash and jewelry to electronics and high-end handbags. All right, now you're probably wondering, how are these guys even getting into the country to begin with? Are these people part of the illegal immigrants Republicans keep complaining about? Well, oddly enough, police say the would-be criminals actually arrived in the United States legally via 90-day tourist visas. And you thought they only gave those out to the people on 90-day fiancé, huh? They primarily come from countries such as Chile, Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador. Once they've successfully hit a house, they either ship the spoils of their expedition back to their home countries, or they rid themselves of the items here in the United States for a quick payday before returning to their countries. Now, this is nothing new. As far back as 2019, law enforcement had their hands full trying to track down various burglary tourists in the SoCal area. And a big part of that struggle came due to the fact that the criminals committing these robberies had no history in the United States. Although it appears based on reports that houses are a more common target for them now, the foreign criminals of old would not hesitate to hit houses, retail stores, and even in some case, brazenly pickpocket Americans as well. In one particular instance, on the night of March 24, 2019, a group of Chilean robbers hit a jewelry store and took everything from the jewels in jewelry cases to cash, a safe, and anything else of value. Store owner Brian Haseen told Fox 11 News that they had wiped out approximately 1.5 million of their business. Well, if you are one of the people living in or close by to these areas and are wondering how you can protect yourself from a potential burglary or home invasion, according to officials, you should ensure your security and camera systems are up to date and maintained, and also to let your neighbors know if and when you're traveling. They also made mention of something straight out of a Home Alone movie, which is to keep your lights on a varied timer so it goes on even when you're not present in your home. You know, so Harry and Marv don't come in and cause a ruckus. But on the real, the reason they suggest that is because it's important to remember these burglars aren't looking for a confrontation. They're actively watching to see when people aren't home so they know when to strike with the least bit of resistance. Deputy Chief Alan Hamilton sounded the alarm. The South American theft groups were not just a nuisance. They were a force to be reckoned with. But the law was not idle. Task forces were formed and arrests were made. Felipe Leiva Solis, a 33-year-old Chilean, was a prime target. His crew's exploits stretched from West Los Angeles to Glendale, leaving a trail of stolen riches in their wake. But justice had its work cut out. With fake passports and cunning maneuvers, these burglars were slippery foes. Yet, in this case, the long arm of the law reached even the most audacious, with several of them being arrested and charged with burglary. And so, amidst the sands of the desert, the hunt continued, a relentless pursuit of justice in a world where crime knows no borders.